Hi everyone, welcome back to Binge and Build, the cozy corner where we binge nostalgic movies and TV shows and rebuild the magic in The Sims 4. And because Halloween is like a week away, I thought we would talk about a Halloween movie. So today we're flying back to Witch University for Return to Halloweentown, which came out in 2006. It's a film that has been dragged for years, but honestly, I liked it, and I believe it has more depth that people give it credit for. Let's just get the biggest thing out of the room. Yes, they did recast Marnie. Yes, it does look very 2000 era movie quality that Disney Channel originals did produce at the time. But when you strip all that away, there is a story, and it's really about legacy, power, and growing up. So while I recreate college Marnie, Piper, and Ethan Dalloway, which you meet in Halloweentown High, I'm going to save some of my thoughts for that. In The Sims 4, let's talk about why the movie is actually better than you guys remember. So we're going to talk about the biggest elephant in the room is Kimberly J. Brown, the one who originally played Marnie for 3 films. She gave us attitude, humor, and a spark of chaos. I really liked how she played it. And as a kid, I was pretty mad. I remember watching this premiere. I was very young. I was probably really, I don't know, 10 maybe. But as an adult, I get it. This Marnie is not a kid anymore. She's a college student. She's balancing her heritage and responsibility, and she really wants to find out where she comes from. And let's talk about Sarah Paxton. She does bring a different type of Marnie. So you're not going to get the same Marnie that you usually get. But I think it kind of fits. She doesn't try to mimic the Marnie of the past, which I think is phenomenal. Because Sarah Paxton has a way that she acts that is so much different than Kimberly J. Brown. So they do play it differently. In this cast, I gave her the brownish hair. You'll see I do change the hair a little bit because it was hard to find hair. And in The Sims 4, I noticed cast is very I don't know, it's very squarish. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't look good. But yes, I did give her light makeup. She does not wear a lot of makeup. I did give her, try to find the best 2006 clothes. Yes, and she is a witch, spellcaster, because I don't have witches in The Sims 4, but anyway, or they don't call them witches, they call them spellcasters. I gave her the traits of ambitious, good, and I forgot the other one, and cheerful, because I think this Marnie is very cheerful. So as we're talking about Marnie, I want to talk about some of the family legacy in the past. One thing I love about this movie is how it threads the past into Marnie's present. You get to see Grandma Aggie, which is amazing. Rest in peace. But she still gives her wisdom. They're on an adventure. Gwen's warnings finally make sense. Dylan's sarcastic realism feels at home. And in this film, Marnie does get a scholarship to Witch University that connects directly to her ancestry. She arrives thinking it's an honor, but she learns that she's there because of who she is, not what she earned. That's an adult life in a nutshell. Realizing your legacies can open doors. So her legacy, because she's a Cromwell, did open doors, but they used it to gain something from her. And that's really hard when, she was just trying to be the best witch. So let's talk about the Witch University world. I love the castle that they had the film in. I think the castle is really phenomenal in this film. It's really pretty, especially for Disney Channel-esque era, because sometimes the CGI, they do CGI castles, and it was not as good. So yes, Witch University is fantastic. It has really cool, the way it's built. There's secret tunnels. However, there's absolutely no magic, because you do find out in the 3rd film that Marnie opened the door between both worlds because she allowed students from Halloweentown to go into high school. And then you find out that they had no magic because they only used to accept witches because it's Witches University, but they accept all creatures now because some of the Halloweentown students are going to the real world to go to college to get away from their parents. The setting does allow Marnie to be more adult, Disney adult. I want a Disney Channel adult. I want to be clear, it's Disney Channel adult. She meets the Sinister Sisters in this part, Scarlet, Sapphire, and Sage. They're mean girls. They're kind of cartoonishly awful. They're probably the worst in the film. I'm going to be honest. I couldn't stand them. And they make Draco Malfoy look like a guidance counselor. Like, they are just awful. They're the worst part of the film. They're spoiled. They're elitist. They're obsessed with status. And yet they mirror that Marnie could become if she chased power instead of purpose. So definitely she could be the evil side. However, they're cartoonishly evil. I think they're the worst part of the film. I think at the time, movies were doing this because you had Mean Girls, you had a bunch of other ones that had 3 top girls. The only thing that they made different was they were sisters, but you've seen that all through like the 2000s, the 3 girls that were the mean girls, and they were just so cartoonishly evil that made you laugh, and you're like, this is kind of dumb. Something I'm glad they got rid of. So let's talk about one of the highlights. I think this is how you say her name, and if I get it wrong, I'm terribly bad at names. Annalisa, the genie friend, loved her. She's Marnie's genie roommate. She's a breath of fresh air of the film. She's funny, kind, totally unbothered by the magical politics around her. Annalisa reminds Marnie and us that friendship and joy matter more than legacy. I love the dynamic it grounds in the story. Whenever the Dominion plot kind of gets heavy for a Disney Channel movie, Annalise is amazing. She really helps her friend at the end of the movie. So I do think that part is one of the better plots. I really liked their dynamic with each other. I think Sarah Paxton and the actress that plays her roommate, really good chemistry. They felt like real friends. I loved how when they first get introduced, she like beams her into her lamp. So yeah, I like that part. They feel like real friends. So I think that is something that the movie did quite well. But yeah. So let's talk about one of the other plot points that I really dislike in this film, and it has to do with her brother Dylan. And I do feel like with the Sinister Sisters, he basically becomes a lovesick puppy because they put a spell they put a spell where they can make him do things, but it's stuff he already wants to do. So it just kind of brings out those feelings. And I hate that part because Dylan is a really smart kid. He's always been smart in all these 3 films. And he's like really obsessed with the leader of the Sinister Sisters. And I just think that's a weak plot line. I do not like the fact that they start to they're using him. The one good thing is he does turn into a cute little dog. I do think that. He also goes to college because her mother is nervous to send her because she knows as well Halloweentown has, issues, and she's just scared because she becomes an empty nester. And I do love the mom in this one, especially because she's trying to help her grow. She's not being so protective, but she's helping her learn and grow. And I do think that was really executed well in this film, because we get to see like Marnie needing her mother. And I think that's based on reality. When you go off to college and you don't know what to do and you're on your own and you have all these grown-up things you have to do, you need your mom. And I like when she said, I need my mother, and she comes, and I was like, that's a beautiful moment. That is one of the greatest moments. I do love the relationship in the film, and I do love how the chemistry with all of them, even with the recast, really does work. It really feels like a really good cast, because I do think they have chemistry together. So I do think they did a good job there. So yes, I do love the mom's relationship. I do love we get to see Aggie like a couple times. I really feel sad that we don't get to see her more because, however, you start, it's the whole story of growing up and you're leaving home and you're having to learn to deal with these adult like situations that come up. So yes, but what else was I going to say? I totally forgot. But yes, so the story is not that bad. So I cannot wait to introduce our next sim very, very soon. So now it is time to give Ethan Dalloway his well-earned redemption arc. In Halloweentown High, he was a shy and nervous, kind of trapped by his father's reputation. In this film, he's very soft, he's wiser, and honestly, the chemistry between him and Marnie finally works. I don't think it worked with Kimberly J. Brown. I just didn't feel that in the third film. And you could kind of see them setting it up, and maybe Disney, this is just allegedly, I don't know, Disney thought this was not going to work because they were trying to. I don't know why. However, I just don't think, I think Sarah Paxton and is it Lucas Gabriel? They work. And at the time, Lucas Gabriel was kind of becoming the it boy of Disney for a while. I think, but yes, so I do think they work in this film. They have more chemistry. You actually are rooting for them to be together. And in the third film, I don't even remember them really like flirting much. So I just don't think it worked with those actors. So in the cast, I gave Ethan sandy blonde hair. He had light blue eyes. I gave him like casual outfits, blue jeans, like t-shirts, very simple. He was a bookworm. He's good and romantic because in this film, he's very much a little bit more of a romantic type. He's the calm to Marnie's curiosity and a reminder that good relationships are built on respect and not drama. He does apologize. He is really flirting with her. He brings her flowers. You do find out he gave up his magic, so he's mortal. And I like the idea of that because he did not want to live with that legacy anymore. And I do think that is very true. I do like how they took his character a lot. So in this story, you find out they're using Marnie to find this magic that can control all magical creatures to bend their will. She finds this box, it's locked, and she starts to research because they're tricking her. They're making her, because Marnie is she's very good. She's very good. She wants to help. So they trick her and they use that against her because she is goody two shoes. The Sinister Sisters do say she's not going to do it. She's a goody two shoes. So good luck with that. But she does discover that the Dominion is what it's called, is an ancient secret society obsessed with controlling the gift, a legendary power only a true Cromwell can unlock. This is where I think the film has the better parts, because Sarah Paxton does play, you find out, young Agatha, like 1,000 years ago. I think they make a joke about that. Where she goes back in her past. She literally steps into her family history. She uncovers how power twists even good witches. It's a smart metaphor for adulthood, realizing your heroes weren't perfect and deciding what kind of legacy you'll leave. I do like that. I like how you get to meet Agatha's like best friend, an undercover like cop trying to, like, witches cops is what I call them, to get the Dominion because it's against the law. I do think it's really done well, the past. I do like how it's Sarah Paxton, but Sarah Paxton looks different. She is playing a different type of character, which I wish the film would have explored more. I wouldn't have minded a prequel with Sarah Paxton playing Agatha. I would have minded that. I think that would have been done because I think those scenes were really pretty. And I think they did very well in the film and it wasn't like cheesy. I loved the outfit Sarah Paxton wore as Agatha, how she locked it away. She did not want to be used. She did not want to control that. And you do see that in the original Halloweentown, the original movies, the first three movies, that really understand that Agatha really didn't want to control. And it kind of went a full circle moment. So the gift itself, I really like the necklace they use. It promises ultimate magic control, and you get to see them use it a couple times, and it really is, and how you can't fight against it, or you try, but it can't. And who wouldn't want that kind of magic, right? And when Marnie opens the box, you can see for a moment she's tempted, because why not? She can become the magical being she always wanted. And you do see that in the original films as well, the one that Kimberly J. Brown played in the first 3 films, especially the first and second. The glowing light that whispers the answers her past, pulling her in, and it's visually cheesy. It's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of Disney Channel original stories. Her mom's words from the first movie echo being a witch is about more than being spells. Gwen feared this exact moment that curiosity without wisdom leads to corruption. Marnie has to choose between living history or rewriting it, so she can go back and be that witch and control everyone. So the Dominion scenes are peak melodramatic. The robed elders, the glowing orbs, lots of whispering and chanting, and you find out some of the awesome, some of the professors are just behind this. They really want to control everyone. They hate other magical beings, so that can also lead to metaphors on things as well. And the Sinister Sisters come full circle, revealing just how shallow they really are. I hate them. They're the worst part of the film. They're proof that magical talent without heart is worthless, and they're very vapid. They just want to party and control everyone because they want to be powerful. Marnie realizes that being a Cromwell isn't about bloodlines, it's about choice. And I do love, in the past, I've got to talk about that, she gives her the big jack-o'-lantern that goes in the Halloweentown square. I love that. I forgot to mention that. And then, of course, as we finish up the review, you do get the twist ending where Marnie go with the help of her family, because they need 3 Cromwell witches to destroy the gift. They destroy the gift, and you get to see Dylan's powers here. So she destroys the gift, but she doesn't really destroy it. She gives it to someone she cares about, and that's what her mom says. And she hides it. She steals it away. She gives it to her brother because she trusts her brother, and the choice. She doesn't want to get rid of her past. She is all about her past and loving herself as a witch. It's closure for her mom's fear, her grandma's pride, and her own growth. She's no longer an impulsive teen who casts first and think later. She very much is growing into, it's a very much coming of age story, which we have seen many times. So let's talk about some of Ethan and Marnie's final moment. The ending gives subtle romance instead of fireworks. When Ethan smiles at Marnie after she refuses the Dominion, it's respect and admiration. They both have grown from 2 kids from magical families, finally standing as equals and adults. Compared to their flirt and blush dynamic in Halloweentown High, this is more mature love built on trust, and it's understated but real. One of my favorite Ethan and Marnie's moment is when they fly, and then that's really where the chemistry. It's one of my favorite scenes between Ethan and Marnie, is where they're flying, and it's very cheesy. Kind of reminds me of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the movie, kind of. So I do like that part of the film. I think they did that well. The casting with her was well with the actor who plays Ethan. So yeah, Return to Halloweentown is not a perfect film, but the story is a coming of age story. It's about growing up. It trades Halloween parties for introspection and legacy. As an adult, it sees its less as a weak sequel and more as Marnie's graduation from reckless witch to a wise woman. And now in the Sims form, Marie and Ethan get to keep writing this story. One spell, one build, and one late night study session at a time. Thanks for watching Binge and Build. Stay spooky, stay curious, and remember, power means nothing without heart. And thank you so much. And I will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.